Your mind doesn't want freedom, it wants what's familiar. That's why you keep repeating the same cycles: distraction, relapse, regret. I built the 6-week sprint to rip men out of loops permanently. The link is in the description below. Okay, loops are a thing. Loops will continue to destroy your life if you do not break out of them. Loops are why you continue to notice something in your life and never change it. Loops are why you still go to church on Sunday and then on Monday you're doing the same bullshit you prayed about on Sunday. You have to wake up to your own reality and realize that you are in a psychological loop and nothing in your life will change. That loop that you're in, while yes, you might change environments, you might change partners, you might even change the fucking way that you operate in your life, right? But the same psychological loop will happen over and over and over. You wonder why your relationships never work. You wonder why friend groups never work. You wonder why people don't like you. You wonder why you can never hit a different revenue level. You're wondering why you can't start your own business. You're wondering all of these things about your life and continue to live life in the same way that you've always lived it. And that's why your loops never get broken. So loops are comfort. Your brain prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar discipline. Discipline is going to rupture your entire way of life. You have to first note that, and therefore what is going to happen? You're going to feel like someone's attacking your identity because many of these loops you've attached your identity to. It's just real. And you have to understand that your brain is working against you in this manner. When it's time to change, your brain does not want to. Your brain craves safety. We are humans. We like to be comfortable. We run from discomfort. When it's cold, we want heat. When it's warm, we want cold. Like when it rains, we grab an umbrella. We don't want to get wet. It's literally, we desire comfort. And you think that the way that you operate in life with your psychological loops isn't the same? If your loops are the very thing that bring you comfort, do you think you're going to get rid of them? No, you're not. So men confuse activity with progress. You scroll, journal, and do half-effort habits. You think you're getting somewhere just because you're doing this self-development or this self-improvement bullshit. They've lied to you. Wake up. It is all a scam. You must start moving in a direction that is favorable to the outcome that you're looking to get to, not just a fucking mental masturbation loop to make you feel good in the moment, to write things down on a piece of paper, to do half-effort habits that bring you some sort of sedation so that you forget the reality you live in, and then what? Pray to God on Sunday to bring you back to a place of ease and make your life a bit easier. No, that's not how it works, bro. Your nervous system is addicted to chaos because it feels safe, and therefore you have to get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. It's very cliche, but it's the truth. Your nervous system is always going to run for the comfort. But you can't live that way because you right now in your psychological loop are going to continue living that way, and your loop is going to destroy you. And then when you get older, you're going to regret the fact that you didn't do anything about it in the way that you know you could have. You're going to watch this video and then you're going to go back to doing your same bullshit tomorrow and the day after and the day after. And then, hey, you might come back when something sparks your brain to come back, but you're just going to use it as a motivation in the moment. And motivation is fleeting. It's absolute bullshit. Wake up, bro. It's like a joke. It's a joke that you sit here, you watch these videos and you don't do shit about it. And then you complain when your life goes to shit. Wake up, right? And so the first thing you have to do, loops are absence of structure. So if there's no structure in your life, you're going to be in a loop. And many of you are in loops. And even when you get successful in any realm, I'm not just financial. I mean, even in your relationship, even with your family, even with your children, even with your job, it doesn't matter. Loops form everywhere across the board. So when you get a little success in any of these realms of your life, understand that you will then soon go back into a loop. Why? Because a level of success is only a plateau that has created some sort of stability. But just because you have that stability doesn't mean that another loop hasn't formed or another loop will not come to form, right? These ceilings that you might feel in your life. If you're a businessman and you can't figure out how to pass 15K from online revenue, you're in a loop because there's either information that you don't know about or you're operating from a space where you want all the control, which is what? A psychological loop. So you have to let go and break the loop and understand how to now build a structure that, if followed, brings you to a new high, right? And it's the same across any other realm of life. You have to look at the loop because the loop is absence of structure. The second you get structure and follow that structure to a T, you will break through. So discipline creates the new grooves, not motivation. You think watching these videos, you think talking to people about it, you think just doing the same bullshit of masturbating, motivational masturbation is going to bring you to get the new discipline that you need. No, that's why resolutions lists never work. We have 3 months left, realistically, in the year. And a lot of you are going to do the same bullshit you did this year, which is write down the resolution list and then go into 2026 doing the same bullshit. And by the end of January, you're fading. It's just what it is. We see it all the time. And the easiest one to spot is the gym, because the gym turns into like this fucking herd of people to come in that first month. And then they just die out because y'all are pathetic. You're using motivation from the new year to fuel something that you're not going to stick to because you have no discipline to it. And so to the guys that are actually killers and they want to move forward in life, you have to take 2 movers a day. 2 daily movers will always be a 1,000 pieces of intention, right? So you can think about the intention of moving. Think about the intention of starting 2026 correctly. Think about the intention of actually building a structure. Think about all of this. You have all this intent to do something, but you never do it. More than likely because you get overwhelmed with all the thoughts of doing it. Instead of just taking 2 needle movers, something that actually moves you forward in whatever category you're looking to move forward in, and then resting in that energy. To do any sort of big timeline jump, you have to understand where you're jumping to, what you want, like what place do you want to be in instead of where you are right now, and then do 2 needle movers a day to get you towards that timeline. Very simple. You're just overcomplicating it, and you're in a loop, and then you follow all these other ritualistic things that have absolutely nothing to do with nothing and are just plaguing you back into more loops, back into chaos, back into societal mediocrity, all of the things that will keep you back, and you then end up not moving. So focus on 2 needle movers every single day, right? And so the way out is very simple. The first thing that you have to understand is that awareness is not enough. So us talking about the loop and then you realizing like, oh shit, I do have loops is not enough. Because that's just awareness. That's simple awareness. You have to map out a loop and why you're in it. Right? So think about why you're in it. And it's kind of just take the problem that you're in right now and track back. Ask, why do I feel this way? Right? If you're having problems with your girl, why is she acting this way? Maybe because of the little spat we had. Why did we have a spat? Because I said something that she didn't like and it triggered her emotions. And she thought I could have handled it better. Why did I say what I said? Because I do have a little bit of that pain left of residue from my last relationship. Why is that piece of residue still from that last relationship lingering in my life? Right? And just go down and down and down and down and down. And then you're going to start to realize the reason why the relationship before this one collapsed was because of your mommy issues that you had and you never got over. And then it just calcified into the identity that you have. So now when you ended up with that, your ex, you had a problem. And now you jumped into your new relationship, never resolving the trauma that got started in that last relationship. And now you're doing the same shit all over again. A loop, because you never identified and mapped out how the loop is impacting your life. So that's step 1. Map the loop out for what it is. The next thing, you have to insert structure. You have to have non-negotiables like as a daily ritual, things that you have to do every single day to make sure that that loop doesn't form any sort of deeper hooks into your life, and that you can start to pull it and tear it down out of your life. And then third, having a nervous system steady when it resists, because your body and nervous system are going to look for what it's familiar with. And if you have this new operating system, this new structure, this new way of life, this new discipline, you're going to feel very uncomfortable. So your nervous system is going to feel rattled, because what you're really doing is killing an identity that no longer belongs to you, because you realize that these loops are killing you and taking you away from where you actually want to be. So when you start to do that change, your nervous system's going to rattle and make you feel kind of uneasy, right? You might get butterflies when you don't do something that you used to do that brings you comfort. You might feel like, fuck, I'm no longer the same human. Who am I turning into? What is in store for me? Relax. Take the time, go ground, go outside. I tell all my students all the time, you have to ground every single day to bring your nervous system to neutrality, right? And there's many reasons for that. And so your loops don't die with insight, they die with order. So once you implement a map and understand what it is that you're attacking, and then put a structure in place, and then even when the nervous system acts out and tells you to stop, and you just continue until it becomes your new habit and way of life, that is when you see change in your life. Not just the insight, not just the motivation, not just watching a little reel or two that tells you that you should change, but actually implementing order to get rid of these loops out of your life. And so your closing decree. Loops aren't accidents. They're prisons you've built yourself, but the keys are in your hands. Either you install law or walk out, or you rot inside another year of the same cycle. The choice is yours. Consider yourself warned.